Yashar, chapter 90. At that time, in the 5th year, after the children of Yasher had passed over the Yarden, after the children of Yasher had rested from their war with the Canaanim, at that time great and severe battles arose between Edom and the children of Kittim. And the children of Kittim fought against Edom. And Abinus, king of Kittim, went forth in that year, that is in the 31st year of his reign, and a great force with him of the mighty men of the children of Kittim, and he went to Seir to fight against the children of Esau. And Hadad, the king of Edom, heard of his report, and he went forth to meet him with a heavy people and strong force, and engaged in battle with him in the field of Edom. And the hand of Kittim prevailed over the children of Esau, and the children of Kittim slew of the children of Esau 22,000 men, and all the children of Esau fled from before them. And the children of Kittim pursued them, and they reached Hadad, king of Edom, who was running before them, and they caught him alive, and brought him to Abinus, king of Kittim. And Abinus ordered him to be slain, and Hadad, king of Edom, died in the 48th year of his reign. And the children of Kittim continued their pursuit of Edom, and they smote them with a great slaughter, and Edom became subject to the children of Kittim. And the children of Kittim ruled over Edom, and Edom became under the hand of the children of Kittim, and became one kingdom from that day. And from that time they could no more lift up their heads, and their kingdom became one with the children of Kittim. And Abinus placed officers in Edom, and all the children of Edom became subject and tributary to Abinus. And Abinus turned back to his own land, Kittim. And when he returned, he renewed his government, and built for himself a spacious and fortified place for a royal residence, and reigned securely over the children of Kittim and over Edom. In those days, after the children of Yasher had driven away all the Canaanim and the Amorim, Yahusha was old and advanced in years. And Yahuwah said to Yahusha, "You are old, advanced in life, and a great part of the land remains to be possessed. Now, therefore, divide this land for an inheritance to the 9 tribes and to the half-tribe of Manasseh." And Yahusha rose up and did as Yahuwah had spoken to him. And he divided the whole land to the tribes of Yasher as an inheritance according to their divisions. But to the tribe of Levi he gave no inheritance. The offerings of Yahuwah are their inheritance, as Yahuwah had spoken of them by the hand of Moshe. And Yahusha gave Mount Shevron to Caleb, the son of Yepuneh, one portion above his brethren, as Yahuwah had spoken through Moshe. Therefore Hebron became an inheritance to Caleb and his children unto this day. And Yahusha divided the whole land by lot to Yasher for an inheritance, as Yahuwah had commanded him. And the children of Yasher gave cities to the Lebaim from their own inheritance, and suburbs for their cattle, and property as Yahuwah had commanded Moshe, so did the children of Yasher. And they divided the land by lot, whether great or small. And they went to inherit the land according to their boundaries. And the children of Yasher gave to Yahusha the son of Nun an inheritance amongst them. By the word of Yahuwah did they give to him the city which he required, Timnath Serach, in Mount Ephraim. And he built the city and dwelt therein. These are the inheritances which Eleazar the priest and Yahusha the son of Nun and the heads of the fathers of the tribes portioned out to the children of Yasher by lot in Shiloh, before Yahuwah, at the door of the tabernacle, and they left off dividing the land. And Yahuwah gave the land to Yasher, and they possessed it as Yahuwah had spoken to them, and as Yahuwah had sworn to their ancestors. And Yahuwah gave to Yasher rest from all their enemies around them, and no man stood up against them. And Yahuwah delivered all their enemies into their hands, and not one thing failed of all the good which Yahuwah had spoken to the children of Yasher. Yea, Yahuwah performed everything. And Yahusha called to all the children of Yasher, and he blessed them, and commanded them to serve Yahuwah, and he afterwards sent them away. And they went each man to his city, and each man to his inheritance. And the children of Yasharal served Yahuwah all the days of Yahusha, and Yahuwah gave them rest from all around them, and they dwelt securely in their cities. And it came to pass in those days that Abinus, king of Kittim, died, in the 38th year of his reign, that is, the 7th year of his reign over Edom. And they buried him in his place which he had built for himself. And Latinus reigned in his stead 50 years. And during his reign he brought forth an army, and he went and fought against the inhabitants of Britannia and Carnania, the children of Elisha, son of Yaban, and he prevailed over them and made them tributary. He then heard that Edom had revolted from under the hand of Kittim, and Latinus went to them and smote them and subdued them and placed them under the hand of the children of Kittim. And Edom became one kingdom with the children of Kittim all the days. And for many years there was no king in Edom, and their government was with the children of Kittim and their king. And it was in the 26th year after the children of Yasharal had passed the Yarden, that is the 66th year after the children of Yasharal had departed from Mitzrayim, that Yahusha was old, advanced in years, being 108 years old in those days. And Yahusha called to all Yasharal, to their elders, their judges, and officers, after Yahuwah had given to all Yasharal rest from all their enemies round about. And Yahusha said to the elders of Yasharal and to their judges, Behold, I am old, advanced in years, and you have seen what Yahuwah has done to all the nations whom he has driven away from before you. For it is Yahuwah who has fought for you. Now, therefore, strengthen yourselves to guard and to do all the words of the Turah of Moshe, not to deviate from it to the right or to the left, and not to come amongst those nations who are left in the land. Neither shall you make mention of the name of their Alua, but you shall cleave to Yahuwah Alaweka, as you have done to this day. And Yahusha greatly exhorted the children of Yasharal to serve Yahuwah all their days. And all Yasharal said, We will serve Yahuwah Eloheinu all our days, we and our children and our children's children and our seed forever. And Yahusha cut a covenant with the people on that day, and he sent away the children of Yasharal, and they went each man to his inheritance and to his city. And it was in those days, when the children of Yasharal were dwelling securely in their cities, that they buried the coffins of the tribes of their ancestors, which they had brought up from Mitzrayim, each man in the inheritance of his children. The 12 sons of Yaqub did the children of Yasharal bury, each man in the possession of his children. And these are the names of the cities wherein they buried the 12 sons of Yaqub, whom the children of Yasharal had brought up from Mitzrayim. And they buried Reuben and Gad on this side of the Yarden, in Romia, which Moshe had given to their children. And Shimon and Levi they buried in the city Mauda, which he had given to the children of Shimon, and the suburb of the city was for the children of Levi. And Yehudah they buried in the city of Benjamin, opposite Bethlehem. And the bones of Yishakar and Zebulun they buried in Sidon, in the portion which fell to their children. And Dan was buried in the city of his children in Ishtal, and Naphtali and Asher they buried in Kadesh Naphtali, each man in his place which he had given to his children. And the bones of Yosef they buried in Shechem, in the part of the field which Jacob had purchased from Camor, and which became to Joseph for an inheritance. And they buried Benjamin in Yerushalayim, opposite the Yebusi, which was given to the children of Benjamin. The children of Yasharal buried their fathers, each man in the city of his children. And at the end of 2 years, Yahusha the son of Nun died, 110 years old. And the time which Yahusha judged Yasharal was 28 years. And Yasharal served Yahuwah all the days of his life. And the other affairs of Yahusha, and his battles and his reproofs with which he reproved Yasharal, and all which he had commanded them, and the names of the cities which the children of Yasharal possessed in his days. Behold, they are written in the Cepher of the words of Yahusha, to the children of Yasharal, and in the Cepher of the wars of Yahuwah, which Masha and Yahusha and the children of Yasharal had written. And the children of Yasharal buried Yahusha in the border of his inheritance, in Timnath Sarak, which was given to him in Mount Ephraim. And Elisar, the son of Ahurun, died in those days, and they buried him in a hill belonging to Pinchas, his son, which was given him in Mount Ephraim. This has been a reading of Yashar, chapter 90.